Okay. Let's dive into this. You know that feeling, that kind of persistent hum,
Mm.
like something's just not quite right?
Yeah.
You're doing all the things, eating well,
Mhm.
exercise, trying to manage stress, getting sleep, ticking all those modern wellness boxes.
Doing everything by the book, supposedly.
Yeah.
And yet, yeah, there's still that little nagging sense that something's a bit off.
That-
Like the engine's running, but maybe not quite tuned perfectly. You're not getting like full power.
Yes, that's it. That elusive offness,
Yeah,
even when you're putting in all the effort. And it's actually, well, it seems remarkably common.
it really is.
Some studies show, almost 70% of adults feel this way sometimes, even with wellness routines. So what if, and this is the core question, I think, what if that feeling isn't entirely about you?
Okay. That's a provocative thought. Tell me more.
What if it's actually significantly influenced by your environment?
Now, environment, that word. Most people immediately go big picture, don't they?
Totally.
No.
You think rainforests burning, glaciers melting.
Right. Polar bears, plastic in the ocean. Important stuff, but, out there. Distant.
Yeah, distant concepts, vital, but maybe not what you feel day to day. But what if environment is much more, intimate, immediate?
You mean like the actual air you're breathing right now?
Mhm.
The quality of the light in this room, the ground you walk on outside, the materials in your house or office?
That's precisely it. And that's really the mission for this deep dive, isn't it?
Yeah.
To unpack that really profound, often overlooked link between our immediate surroundings and how we actually feel.
It is a huge shift in perspective, moving from environment as this like abstract thing
Yeah.
to the very microclimate you're living in constantly. And the sources we looked at, the research, it really hammers home this truth we seem to have, I don't know, forgotten,
Which is?
that climate health and human well-being, they're not separate conversations, not at all. They are deeply, deeply intertwined. I mean, there's research suggesting a direct link between, say, the density of trees on your street and lower rates of certain chronic illnesses. And that's separate from just getting more exercise.
Wow. So it's not just that healthy ecosystems are, nice to have, a pretty backdrop.
Not just nice. They fundamentally shape how we feel, how we think, our energy levels, our vitality. The big aha here, I think, is that your personal well-being is literally woven into the health of the ecosystems right around you.
Right down to the microbial level, you said.
Sometimes, yeah, down to the microbes.
That makes incredible sense when you think about it that way. And if you follow that logic, well, it becomes almost obvious, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, think about it. When nature around us is polluted or overheated or just degraded and ignored,
Mm-hmm.
that stress, that imbalance, it doesn't just stay out there.
No, absolutely not. It comes right back to us. It directly impacts us. Our own physiology, it mirrors the state of our local environment. We often miss these direct feedback loops.
Like what kind of loops?
Well, things like, the smell of new furniture or fresh paint. Those chemicals, off-gassing VOCs, volatile organic compounds,
Mm-hmm.
they can genuinely impact your cognitive function, your sleep quality. And you might just blame it on being stressed or tired.
Right. You'd never think, oh, it's the new bookshelf.
Exactly. Or something even simpler, like just the presence of green spaces.
Just seeing them.
Yeah, just seeing green space. Studies show it can measurably lower your heart rate, your cortisol levels. It directly dials down your biological stress. It's pretty remarkable how our bodies respond.
Okay, so if our personal health is that intertwined with our immediate environment, the next logical step is, well, how do we consciously design spaces? Spaces that don't just not harm us, but maybe actively support and even heal our well-being.
And that's where you start seeing some really interesting forward-thinking initiatives, like the work being done at Miami Ironside you mentioned earlier. They're tackling this head-on.
Right, Miami Ironside. So how are they approaching it differently? What makes it stand out from, say, standard urban development?
Well, they're moving beyond just, adding a few trees here and there or sticking a green roof on top. Those things can be part of it. They're talking about engineering what they call biophilic feedback loops.
Biophilic, meaning
Yeah.
love of life.
All right, okay.
So feedback loops that actively connect us back to nature. Is that the idea?
Precisely. It's about designing an entire ecosystem, really, specifically geared towards enhancing human well-being, not just placing humans in a slightly healthier box. They're fundamentally asking, how can the built environment itself actively contribute to our vitality?
That sounds ambitious, maybe a little idealistic for some. What does that actually look like on the ground? in
Oh,
practice?
well, okay, concrete examples. Think about buildings with integrated plant systems that literally clean and biologically purify the indoor air, going way beyond just standard filters.
So the plants are like
Right.
part of the building's lungs.
Exactly, a living system. Or think about using building materials that don't just sit there passively, materials that actually absorb CO2 from the atmosphere, making the buildings themselves part of the climate solution. Regenerative, essentially.
Regenerative buildings.
Okay.
And it's not just the buildings themselves.
No, it extends outward, like integrating genuinely local, clean urban farming. So nutrient-dense food is grown right there.
Which cuts food miles, ensures freshness.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And things like designing indoor and outdoor spaces with optimal lighting that supports our natural circadian rhythms, our sleep-wake cycles.
Which affects everything from mood to metabolism.
Exactly. And if you connect all those dots,
Yeah.
that's a world away from standard urban planning, right? Which often seems laser-focused on, I don't know, traffic flow or just jamming in as many units as possible.
It really is a fundamental shift in perspective.
Yeah.
So this bigger vision they have,
Mm.
this longevity district concept, sounds intriguing, maybe a bit futuristic.
Yeah.
What's the core idea there?
It sounds grand, yeah, but the core idea is actually quite, well, practical, even if it's revolutionary in practice. It starts with a really simple belief. When nature thrives, we thrive, period.
Simple but profound.
And they've basically tried to operationalize that. The Longevity District is conceived as this master-planned community where every single design choice,
Every single one.
layout, materials, green spaces, air systems, water systems, you name it, is evaluated for its measurable impact on human health.
Measurable impact. So they're actually tracking outcomes. This isn't just aspirational.
Exactly. It's not just about making things look nice or feel good, although that's obviously part of it. It's about seeking quantifiable improvements,
Like what?
like lower stress markers in the people who live or work there, better air quality, demonstrably better, inside and out. Increase physical activity not because they're forced to, but because the environment actually invites it. Improved mental clarity.
And this is all driven by deliberately weaving nature back in through this biophilic design stuff.
That's the engine behind it, deliberately integrating nature and natural systems.
So it's this incredibly holistic view.
Yeah.
Our individual health, our physiology. It's not seen as separate from the planet's health right around us. It's all one integrated system.
Right down to the quality of the soil, the biodiversity in the area. They genuinely see this approach not as some, niche eco-trend, but as the actual blueprint for the future of urban living, for achieving genuine urban well-being. It's a completely different way of thinking about health and place.
It really reframes everything, doesn't it? Once you grasp that connection, that our own sense of well-being is, in many ways, a direct reflection of our immediate environment.
That's the core connection, yeah. Understanding that and then figuring out how to act on it, that seems absolutely crucial for our well-being moving forward.
So thinking about that and looking at this vision from Miami Ironside, this idea of designing for life, where biodiversity, clean food, regenerative architecture, they all work together.
Supporting both the ecosystem and the people within it.
Yeah. If that really is the blueprint for the future, well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
Makes you ask, okay, what about right now in your own life? What specific things could you maybe start to notice or even, I don't know, advocate for in your immediate environment?
Your home, your workplace.
Your neighborhood, yeah. How could you start fostering your own little personal longevity district, so to speak?
And maybe even small shifts can start to make a difference. Just knowing that connection exists, that ultimately when the nature right around us thrives, we tend to thrive too.